just like old times, me saving your life and your hooker girl flying off into the wind.
I can't help thinking, somewhere in the universe, there has to be something better than man. Has to be. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Ascension to 10.
All right. Here we are. We're back.
We're back.
Back for another one.
3 in
What's
a
up?
row.
3 in a row. 3 weeks in a row. Same day. Very consistent. It's like we've done this before.
We're getting it done.
Top notch.
Doing the work. Important stuff, rather.
Yeah, important stuff. And I have now, we're 3 weeks into season 1, part 2, and I have had 3 completely different setups for the microphone and the camera and the lighting and everything else. Because last week in the video, if you watch it on YouTube, Ascension to 10 YouTube channel, Ascension to 10 podcast YouTube channel, you'll see that my head is cut off and I'm like elevated over Jad because it was so messed up. Looks like we're pretty good this week, so should be all right.
Yeah, but TBD on the output or whatever we release. Yeah. We've talked about this at length throughout season 1, part 1, but my God, there's stuff goes wrong constantly, especially with Spenny's setup. It's something about his setup with a 300-foot cord strung around his house.
I don't have to do that anymore, if that's a plus.
Nice. Solid. That's an improvement.
Well, at least, I guess we'll find out. You're looking really fuzzy right now, so it's probably the internet.
Yeah, potentially.
No,
though viewers of season 1, part 2 might have noticed that we're looking a bit clearer than we have.
That's true.
For the entirety of season 1. I think we've actually found a possible solution to this setup.
Not using webcams.
Yeah. That was it. That was all we had to do. It's not use a webcam.
Right.
Who would have thought?
Who would have thought? So,
yeah.
But you already got rid of yours. I actually use mine for work now since I have no other use for it. So I always look top notch.
Mine's gone.
For business.
For business. Yes.
Yeah.
So Spenny, tell me about you got something in the mail this week, right? I want to learn more about it.
Yes. So recently we had our TV in our bedroom had an accident. They was sitting on a dresser and the dresser got pulled and the TV came falling over and it wasn't mounted or anything. So it fell to the ground and broke. These things happen. Long story short, we got a new TV and this time we're going to mount it. And, we don't have an outlet right behind where we would mount it. So I was like, we'll go online. I'll find one of those things where you can kind of mount an outlet and then it has a cord behind the wall and then you can plug it into the outlet that's actually existing. I was like, this will be perfect because we've talked about a few times cord management. Mine's not good right now, but we always make fun of people that have bad cord management when it comes to TVs and stuff. And so ordered it on Amazon, takes 2-day delivery. I'm sitting there waiting for it and the notification comes that's been delivered. It just happens to be the same day as my wife's birthday. So something came in the mail with my name on it and I was like, well, this isn't the right thing. But I was like, maybe her parents got her something or my mom got her something. I don't know. Who knows? But you open the box and first it has my name on it. So I know it's to me. It wasn't, delivered to the wrong house or anything. But you open up this box and it's on the outside, it says cemetery gravestone. You're like, well, that's weird. Like, why would it have that in there? And you open it up, and it's this thing like, in loving memory of you, I hope you rest in peace. And it's like a gravestone, but I think like it's the size where like it would be in a backyard for like a pet or somewhere if you dug them. But it was like, what the hell is this? So in my mind, I'm thinking like, so I got this gravestone. Someone got my wall management thing, and they were hoping to have this gravestone. They must be right next to each other. It's like the complete disappointment they have of like, they're trying to, remember their little, dog or whatever it was. Yeah. And they get this management thing. So it was just a very weird, awesome. Like I can imagine something in the same category, but they were just so far, opposite of anything. So it was just kind of a funny thing this week.
So,
and then I have to return it.
Oh, you have to. Okay,
yeah. It was like, on Amazon, it's like, why are you returning or exchanging? And it's like, well, I got the wrong thing. And it's like, okay, well, you got to go drop it off. Well, thanks.
Gee whiz.
I guess. But we did get the right thing the next day. So.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. The fact that it was, just addressed to you, packaged to you, everything.
Right. I was, you're doing the checklist mentally, like, okay, so this is delivered for me, like has my name on it. And you're looking at it, trying to figure out. But no, that thing wasn't not for me.
Well, I guess you could, your options were to keep it and be prepared, or is it for something else?
I mean, I should have looked up how much it cost. I mean, was it,
right.
Was I getting a bang? Yeah. Yeah.
I wanted to talk about something else you got in the mail a while ago that we probably should have talked about on the show, but I honestly can't remember what the end of the story was to this. We've been kind of behind the scenes pseudo designing some merch options and just kind of playing around with ideas. We have no idea what we're doing here.
Right.
Spenny
tested it out.
Ordered some samples, right? And
yes.
Am I remembering right that it's just like dollar store quality kind of stuff, or was the quality good, but you just immediately spilled shit all over it, or like the one of one thing is just covered in crap?
Well, so we were trying to use, like, I was trying to use some of the logos and stuff that we had already designed, when we first started. And like the quality wasn't too bad. The quality was super thin. So like if I wore it, like I could see the chest hair coming through the shirt and like my nipples. It was super soft, but
nice,
is that. But then it was literally like the day that I got it, like I put it on and I posted a picture and showed you, and it wasn't within 5 seconds I had spilled all over it, and I was like, okay, whatever. So we're still working on that aspect of it, but there was a t-shirt that had a 8 to 10 on it, and it needed some work. So we'll see what we can do with that.
Maybe that could be a Patreon perk. You get the one of one original 8 to 10 merch.
Yeah, we can do that. We have the power, which we
doesn't look good. Stained. Too thin to wear outside.
There's actually two of them.
Oh, why didn't I get one?
There's an orange one and a green one, but different sizes. So,
well,
just trying to see, what's what, all that. Well, we'll have to see.
Well, gee whiz.
Yeah. Hey, there is something, and I didn't prompt you for this, but there's a show that you and I have been watching that we're hooked on, and it's The Silo. That's on Apple TV,
Silo.
Apple Plus.
It's just called
It's not
Silo.
called. Oh,
It's
okay,
just Silo. It's not the Silo.
the reason I call it the Silo. There's a restaurant here in Kansas City, and it's called the Silo Modern Farmhouse. So
Okay.
it always messes with me. So.
Okay.
But yes,
The Silo.
Silo. But
Yeah, I gotta say.
So yeah, go ahead.
Oh well, just that. There's only been 2 episodes. Well, actually, I think the 3rd episode came out today as we speak. It was released. I haven't seen it yet.
When they say Fridays, like, is it UK Friday or what? Because Ted Lasso usually comes on Wednesdays, and it always shows up Tuesday nights.
Yeah, I guess so. Because my phone notified me, and but I have to say, early reviews. Now, this was based on a book series, or at least a book that I haven't read, and I was going to say that early reviews. For me, yours truly, this has Severance potential in terms of how good it is so far.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, the potential ceiling, or we're talking Severance here. And yeah, I'm hooked. It's good. Would recommend.
Yeah, and there's one thing that's kind of funny about this Silo show. So, I mean, the premise is that, there's been some sort of apocalypse, right? And so everyone's living underground in this silo. I had trauma visions of Ascension, because it's basically the same imagery of the spaceship that's in Ascension, the namesake of this podcast, is underground in a giant silo, and it's just this giant spaceship in the middle. And so it's like, I don't know, there's something about it in ways where it seems to be kind of an experiment for in the show Silo, and then in the show Ascension, that makes me think that Silo is just like, it's a million times better, obviously, but it just makes me laugh because it's the same concept in a way of like all these people are trapped on a spaceship.
Okay. But they are actually in space. They're not just underground somewhere.
No, they are underground. They think they're in space. That's the whole premise of Ascension, is that they think they're in space, but they're they're underground in this stupid like missile silo. You should really watch it. It's really good.
I probably should watch this damn thing. Maybe that can be a special, an Ascension special.
Oh, God. Sure.
Holy
whatever.
Smokes.
You keep bringing up these specials.
It's been a minute since we've had a special.
That's true.
Wow.
I mean, we never, I guess, we made it a year technically, and we didn't bring it up because we weren't on air, as they say. So,
well,
yeah,
that does. It's a little too close to home. I don't know how I feel about that. Silo being potentially based on Ascension and not the book.
Well, it's very different, but just the first episode and the kind of the concept, you're like, if you've seen it, you're like, oh, like it very loosely. I'm not saying it's based on that in any way. They're very different, but
so at least with Ascension, if I remember right, it's only 2 episodes, right?
No, it's 3.
It's 3. Okay.
It's a 3-part series done in 2 nights. So there was one.
Oh, okay.
There was one, and then they did a double feature for the last night.
Okay.
No, because they had to get it finished.
Well, okay. We do recommend Silo though at this point.
Silo.
And it's still early, but it's really good, really intriguing. And I don't know what it is about. What?
Yeah, I was going to ask, don't you think it's weird, though, that they didn't figure out a way to make some sort of elevator?
I know, right? It's amazing technology to keep this.
I mean, we're talking like, didn't they say it's
centuries? And yeah,
it's like 120 stories or something. Yeah, and no elevators.
Nothing.
There's a part where they just walk down. They're like, it took us all day to walk down the steps.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, but I gotta say the set is so interesting and it looks so good. And
it does.
something about Apple shows, the title cards are so intriguing too. And they're so well done. And would recommend. It's very cool.
Yeah, good show.
Don't know if we can recommend this movie that we're going to talk about today.
Holy smokes, man. Code of Honor, 2016, Steven Seagal. In a text today, I told Jad that there is a moratorium on Steven Seagal films. Like, we're never doing these again. This was so bad.
This was this was so stupid. So bad.
Jad today is wearing some yellow or some orange sunglasses, which Steven Seagal in this film is wearing orange glasses.
Yeah,
and he has
about
a
tenth of the size of these glasses that I'm wearing. But I did slick back my hair.
Yeah, his
Spenny,
hair's long.
I have so much hair gel in my hair right now. It's like I don't know if you can see that profile, but it's just like a helmet on top of my head.
Probably the last time you wore your hair like that was when we were in kindergarten or first grade, and we had the soapbox or the little doo-wop dance thing where we did the jitterbug.
Oh, the 50s dance. Hell yeah, brother.
Slicking your hat back, wearing the white shirt, you're tucked into your jeans,
and
dancing it up.
I had my Dolphins leather jacket. It was this kind of it had leather sleeves, but the body of the coat was this teal I don't know, like Letterman jacket type fabric, and then with the leather sleeves. It was pretty bomb.
I remember that. That was awesome. That was a sweet jacket.
That dance or festival or whatever was this was third grade, right?
Maybe it was third grade. Yeah, it was when we were young.
That was the night that I decided I wanted to play drums, because there was this 50s band, and I don't know, the drummer was just, I thought, going nuts up there, and I thought that was the coolest thing, and that inspired me to want to play drums.
Well, that's good for you.
Do.
I mean, yeah.
Thanks.
Sweet. Well, what I was gonna say,
awesome.
I played the fucking tuba, and the only reason I played the tuba is because I was forced to. So maybe if I could have kept playing the trumpet, I'd still be playing the trumpet.
Still have the tuba.
Hey, this kid's big. You should play. No, I don't.
Oh wait, you don't have the tuba anymore?
I don't think so. I think we finally got rid of it when we moved, because I didn't have anything. But maybe I have it. I don't know.
Damn.
It's one of those things. I think that was a casualty for the tuba that I had, I stole from Brandon Valley High School, and it was the shittiest practice tuba they had. I mean, the thing has dents just all over it. So it probably it wouldn't even be worth having or keeping. Oh, man.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyways, I look and feel ridiculous with this stupid outfit I got going on right now.
You should after recommending this stupid show. God. I don't even know what to say about it. Like we both got done, and we're just like, we just finished this piece of shit. Right? Oh my gosh.
Oh, I had to do this in 3 sittings to finish this 90-minute movie.
I watched half of it last night and I fell asleep. Oh my god, when is this gonna end? I mean, they all have the common elements of all Seagal films are big gun shootouts to start, strip club, and some sort of explosion.
Yep. Yeah, that's pretty
it.
much it. That's pretty much all you need to know. There were a couple of things at the end I think are worth building up to, because there's a couple things at the end. It's like, what is going on here? But just as a reminder, we so the first Seagal film we did was Born to Raise Hell, right?
Yeah.
I cannot remember anything about that movie. It's other than it that's loosely similar to what this was, but
yeah, it's basically this time he's not a cop, right? He's just a military guy. In that one, he is a cop, so that's the only difference.
It's like I didn't even watch it, man. I have zero memories about that movie.
Remember, the only thing I remember from that is there was a guy trying to drive a dirt bike out of a house, like in a living room. Trying to drive a dirt bike
he's
out.
in Europe or something, right? Yeah. Oh, holy smokes! Okay, so it took. I was paying attention to this. So Steven Seagal at this point, I don't know how old he is, but he's at least in his 60s and maybe in his 70s.
I think he's 70 in this one. I mean, he's pretty old.
He's old. He's fat, and to emphasize how old and fat he is, I think, whether this was his choice or the director's choice, he, I think, was moving or standing in 10% or less of the scenes that he was in. He was sitting down for the vast majority of what his screen time was. And I clocked this. He didn't even have a line until 48 minutes into the runtime.
He didn't talk for 48 minutes into the movie. That's half the movie.
Yeah.
Talk.
And I think he only had about 5 speaking parts, right? Throughout the whole thing.
Yeah.
And it is so
I mean, the only part that he is standing is right at the beginning.
Yeah,
when he's on the silo.
Yeah.
Funny enough, he's on a silo.
Oh yeah, he's on a silo. He's on this grain elevator thing, and so okay, the whole premise is he's this ex special forces. Of course, he is, right? And
trauma. He's had trauma.
His family was killed by gangs, and so the rest of his life is him taking out gang members. That's it.
And bad guys. And just bad guys. I think it was just bad guys in general, because
just baddies.
It started getting a little loose at the end. So
it starts out with clearly drug lords and thugs and stuff, right? And he's on this silo, and there's this mega meeting happening in a wide open gravel parking lot, right? The interstate's
right next to a highway, right?
Yep. And it's just acres of open area that these like top level thugs are meeting at. And
it's a drug deal and there's 50 people there, right?
Like one briefcase of drugs and one briefcase worth of money. It's like maybe
there's a standing audience,
right?
They have a fucking audience. It's like a royal wedding.
Yeah. And so Seagal is up here, like staking the place out, smoking stogie after stogie, right? And
just waiting. He's probably been up there for 6 days.
Yeah.
He's just
subsiding over on stogies and stuff, and he's just checking his guns, checking, cocking, loading,
headphones off, headphones on. Just every other scene he has headphones on, and then it's like this, and then he has headphone on, the headphone. It's like, what's happening?
Checking, cocking in Chambers magazine, checking, cocking, screwing up his scope and stuff, checking, cocking, and it's like daylight when he's doing this. Meeting happens that night. So
But
then
I'm
the
not
drug deal
like this. That's like 5 minutes of him just sitting there, just adjusting his guns, not saying anything.
not saying anything, right? And so then all the people show up, right?
Right.
And he has all these guns and stuff. And he's the only person up here, right? And he starts mowing them down from like 800 yards away, right? And they're all trying to shoot back at him with the pistols and stuff. And I shit you not, like 3 or 4 people die out of nowhere. And then one of the guys says, "We're under attack." Like half the people are dead. And they're like trying to hide behind their bicycle wheel, their motorcycle wheels and stuff.
Yeah.
It's just completely wide open.
Have you ever seen so many bullets be shown shooting out, and then you go to the top of the silo and he is just chilling there,
Just
like there's no
not
bullets coming
phased
at him
at all. They're reaching up there, right? They're getting
yeah,
there.
you can see them flying by, but apparently not. I mean, I've never seen so many bullets fired. Like,
No,
it was insane.
and so he's shooting his guns, right? He has multiple options here, and okay, so he's checking right before all this goes down, and then the people show up, and he checks and cocks and loads and cocks, and then he's like changing guns and has to do the whole song and dance again, right? He's like, new gun, check cock, load cock, and then at one point he's killed most of them, I guess, and he takes this zip line down.
Yeah,
okay.
he repels down.
He's down this silo.
He's 70 years old.
He's 70 years old, but he's also
300
in a
pounds.
silo like a mile away, and he zip lines vertical down right into the middle of the pile of all the bad guys. When he's like way the fuck over there, and he just inserts himself right in the middle of them, and then he's like knifes up one guy and stuff.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, as he gets down, right when he gets down, like, you can see it's some super skinny dude, and before he cuts the guy with the knife, Chad, it's literally the stunt double standing there.
I know, right?
It's a totally different person standing there for like 2 seconds.
A guy like this thin, and then
not to mention he's wearing a scarf. He's wearing a yellow scarf the whole time. So it's just
good
grief.
And and then so then it's the next day, right? But he lets one of them go so that he could tell the head bosses or whatever that
he blows up one car, and then he shoots one.
Then there's a bomb, right? And
he's addicted to bombs. I mean,
okay. So it's important.
Bombs.
He lets one guy go.
Yeah.
He shoots him in the hand, and he scurries off to his lair. And he shows up to his boss, and the boss and this other higher level henchman are like interrogating him and stuff. Who was it? Who did this? I need names. And then he's like, "Bro, I don't know." He's like, got sniped and stuff. And so then he's like, "Get rid of him.
Get rid of him."
And she goes, "No, kicking, screaming as they drag him out. Presumably they're going to go kill him. And then kill him. 5 scenes later, he's a bad guy that's taking out one.
He's got his arm in a sling.
But he's not only is he not dead, he's active within the community again of his baddies.
There's a funny part, like before, I think it's before that, or maybe it's right after that, where the news is there and the police are there, and they're like identified all these bodies already, but like they're still taking the bodies. And like the news is talking about how they found like 30 different, gang members or something, but it's like, how can you identify them? They haven't been like DNA tested or anything. That's just like, 30 of them already dead. But it's not the first, and this won't be the first time that the news reports something before the police know. So
what was? Do you know what the reporter's name was?
Jerry. I don't know.
Jerry. He is the only reporter in this city, and he's there.
Dude, he's hot on the tracks. He is just all over it.
But okay, so
Jerry Simon. That's the
Jerry
name of the
Simon.
reporter. Jerry Simon.
So the next time you see Seagal, he's in the strip club, the back of the room, just smoking a stove,
dark,
in the shadows, black suit. So now he's in a suit. Before he was in some kind of military type attire,
yeah,
with the scarf and stuff, and now he's in the back,
sitting in a chair,
does nothing. It's full of people and dancers. He gets up at one point and leaves a briefcase, and the whole thing just explodes.
Yeah.
And the only people that don't die are the dancers somehow, right? He's so good at bombs. He can target individual people in a room and save individual people in the same room. He's like 2 feet out the door and the whole fucking thing explodes.
Yeah. Well, and also this thing goes off, and the underlying story in this whole thing is this stripper girl who has to leave to get her son because he's sick at school, and so she avoids it all. And like the whole premise was like, after the bomb goes off, they're like, we should really talk to this girl because she left before the bomb. So I think she has something to do with it.
Yeah.
Like, this is really important.
She must know who was there because she wasn't there. Right?
She's
like if she didn't get hurt, by definition she wasn't there, right?
Right.
So she must know something, right?
It was just that was just such a random. She kept showing up in this movie, and it was like, why is she in this? Like, she has nothing to do with anything.
The scene that she was in before that, she gets a call at the club on a payphone from the school saying her kid is sick. The school called a payphone at a strip club. And she's like, oh yeah, I gotta go. All right, no worries, I'm out. And
sneaks out because she unplugs the alarm on the door. That was one of the clues to the police. Like, something fishy's going on here. Someone unplugged the wall.
Someone unplugged the wall. I mean, there was an entire Costco table of assault weapons and stuff, and right next to that door. But that alarm, man,
doesn't matter.
And so at this point, you see Seagal only operating and moving in slow motion because he's sitting in slow motion and then he's walking out this door in slow motion. Again, not saying anything. He's just smoked cigars at this point.
Right.
And then this mystery guy shows up. This guy in a Kmart suit shows up, starts asking questions, and flashes a badge and stuff to the detectives. And he said, I'm Special Agent whatever. And
Porter.
And I know this guy. I know the guy that's responsible for all this. And you're not going to catch him. That's why I'm here. This guy knows the ins and outs of every sewer you've ever even thought of hearing about. And he's changed his appearance 15 times since the last time you didn't see him. And he says that you can blend into anything and you'll never know he wasn't ever that there. And
greatest hand-to-hand combat
I've
ever seen.
So he says he's a master of disguise and that he can change his appearance instantaneously. You only see Seagal in 2 outfits. His scarf outfit and the suit.
That's all he wears.
The next time that's like he's giving this kind of information montage about Seagal, right? And then literally the next time you see him, after he just says he changes his appearance, it's just the same outfit.
Yep.
And it never changes. And then he's, shooting people and stuff and shooting pimps and low-level drug deals and stuff.
Yeah, he's
literally like shooting the dicks out of these guys that are just hanging out on a curb.
This lady comes up wanting drugs, and there's a conversation between the drug dealer and this lady, and she's like, I need drugs. And the guy's like, it's gonna be, $40. And she's like, I don't have $40. She's like, I'll your dick. And he's like, nah, last time you did it, you used too much teeth. It was just like, she's like, I
And
won't
then
do
that
it
guy
again,
dies.
promise.
And then that guy dies. It keeps showing a guy kind of in front and to the side of those two talking. He's playing with a hose, right? He's strung out and he's just playing with the hose, and he's the first to die.
First to die. And meanwhile, there's a girl in the back standing next to the two guys that just got shot, and she's just sitting there with her pipe, just still smoking with blood smeared across her face. It was like, what is this? What a weird thing. But
okay, so the special agent that comes, right? He gets wind of this this expert witness, right? The dancer that left, right?
Yeah.
She must know something.
Yep.
And so he's trying to find out who she is. And so what his master plan was is he's going back to this club that got bombed. He's searching through this stuff late at night with his flashlight, and he finds this old ratty ass, gateway computer and shit. And he bursts it open and takes the hard drive, right? Thinking that, oh, this is gold.
He's MacGyvering. Yep.
And then you see him with a soldering iron and stuff, and like literally hot wiring this busted ass hard drive to find her like records in a strip club.
Her address.
A strip club like employee records, HR shit, right?
Yeah.
I'm just thinking, was it but any of this necessary? Couldn't he have just plugged it in? He really thought that this old ass hard drive was encrypted and stuff. Like, what records are they keeping, right?
Right. But also when he finds that hard drive, all of a sudden he is met by these two thugs that are waiting for him or something.
Well, they're also looking for the stripper. So they
this is the cartel is here, and they corner him, and then all of a sudden this homie, a Fed agent, just brings out double knives and just starts cutting the crap out of these guys, and you're like, whoa, like what is happening? Like, you'd expect that from Steven Seagal, but this guy, we were not expecting. I was not ready for that.
No,
it was like, whoa. So he really messed him up.
Yeah. And it's like, okay, they find the girl, but then the agent gets there and saves her and stuff. And like, he was the one with the information, right? He took the hard drive that is the only lead to this woman, but then
the police didn't think to take the computer. I mean, they were literally put up the tape and were searching everything, and they're like, oh yeah, let's not take the computer, because why not? Whatever.
But so okay, so then they get the agent gets the girl and stuff, and who cares? And it's like, then Seagal meets up.
This is when Seagal talks.
Yeah. Okay. So then, some thugs show up to get the girl.
Yeah.
Porter gets there, saves the girl, and then all of a sudden it's like a fucking war zone. Just keep piling out to get this girl, and he's killing all of them. Right.
Right.
Until there's one guy left. The same guy now that the guy from the first scene that was shot by Seagal clearly implied that the boss killed him. Then he shows up to get the girl. Then he gets shot in the gut by Porter. And then he's around the corner somehow. And then he comes out of nowhere, still alive, pulls a gun. But then he gets shot from behind by Seagal. And the animation for that was just like a red kind of
amazing
bubble.
Like a paintball.
A paintball.
Like a paintball shot you in the eye. Yeah, this is the line. I think this is what Seagal says when after he shoots that guy. His first line is, just like old times, me saving your life and your hooker girl flying off into the wind.
Oh my god.
This line was so ridiculous. But the funniest part too was Seagal, like, after that is like, hey man, you gotta watch your six. It's like,
I know, right?
he was looking at you.
I know.
Like
He was
Porter was
directly in front
looking
of him.
at you. He saw the guy coming. It's not like he wasn't looking at his
Hey man, you forget to look at yourself. He's just like stumbled through every single line he had, and so then there's like, yeah, I saved you, but that was the last time. Because it's like there's gonna end this, and it's like, so meet me at midnight. Come alone, Devil's Garden. It just walks away.
he says tomorrow, midnight, Devil's Garden.
Come along.
Doesn't that just mean meet me tonight?
I know, right? Well, that's a good point, Spenny, because later on, we're skipping ahead. The reporter gets a letter in his van, and it says ratings gold. Meet me at the Snake Eyes, 10 p.m. Come alone.
Yeah,
like the reporter has ever had a posse, right?
Yeah.
And so, but
You see
the thing is, he gets that note after this 12 p.m. meetup and then eventual shootout. Okay.
Yep.
And it's the reporter shows up to all the carnage. This is the middle of the night, right? They wrap up their shoot.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It's fucking night. He gets a thing that says, meet me at 10 p.m. tonight.
And then he shows up.
And then he shows up.
So awesome. And the day never changes. It's always dark.
It's just
there's not like a day wet.
Yeah. And okay, so if they meet at this club, which by the way, this called the Devil's Garden, this mobsters club. It's in the basement of a city library or something. It's clearly a government building.
This was all shot. This was shot in Salt Lake City. So
okay.
I mean, I can't imagine that there's a lot of bars.
It's literally a city hall type building with some After Effects pink lights flashing from one of the basement windows. And
put some neon in there.
They had about 10 extras that they fit into that club, and then it's them meeting and then a shootout and stuff, and half the people are dead, and some random senator's daughter's dead that she never shows up again. Like the senator was never a character until this, and then she was never a character again.
Yeah, it doesn't. Then it made no sense.
And the also detective took it personally, and
but they were at this Devil's Garden. Like these were some of the best lines from Seagal because he was talking to this Porter guy, and basically whenever he talks to Porter, he just totally shits on him. Just shits on him, and it was like, he who never met a girl he tried to fuck, or a drink that he tried to drink. And he goes, hey man, I never went soft. I still love my country. I still love my family. I never missed a soccer match. I never cheated on my taxes.
He says. So Porter is telling Seagal that he's completely unhinged, right? That he's just going nuts around the city, right? He's acting as the judge and the jury, right? And the executioner and stuff. And at one point Porter says, so who's who's in charge with your honor and stuff? Who gets to decide? And who gets to decide who's good and bad? And Seagal says, well, that's up to a jury to decide. That's up to a jury to decide. And then he goes, you've changed, man. You went nuts. And he said, one of the lines that I thought was hilarious was, except for the cigars, their deaths have nothing to do with it. Implying that had his wife and child not been murdered by gang members, he would still be out here killing gang members. Right?
Yes.
The only thing that's driven him to do this is picking up cigar habit.
Yeah.
Starting smoking cigars has led him down a path that he's now murdering mob bosses and stuff.
Yeah, but the best part was Porter was walking into this thing and he has a wire for the police. And after he gets totally shat on about not that he's a cheater, but missed his taxes, like lost his kid, he's like grabs the mic on his little lapel and is like, "Okay, detective, come on in." And then Seagal says, "Well, I thought you might go soft, so I brought this little jamming device here." So
Just a random fucking thing that like it's just a nothing. It's just a nothing machine that he holds up. Right?
It's just a wood block with 3 prongs sticking out. It's just a wood. And the whole point of this is that.
What is the point of this? This meeting.
And then he just tells Porter that, I've got a bomb under your chair, just like the one we used to use in Iraq or whatever. And the guy's like, "Oh shit!" Like, and then Seagal walks away with his finger on a trigger.
Okay, but he says, because then he pulls a gun on Seagal, right? And Seagal says, he whips out this just fucking button. It's just a button, right?
Yeah.
And he's holding it like this. And he says, "Yeah, well, if my thumb comes off this button, the whole place is going to go." His thumb isn't on the button.
It's up.
He's never pushed the button. He's done nothing.
Yeah, but then that leads to this awesome fight scene where the guy thinks he has a bomb on his chair the whole time, and he sits in the chair and fights with like guns and hand-to-hand combat and stuff. And he's grabbing the chair with one hand while he's like shooting and like sliding around the floor. He never gets off the chair.
He never misses a shot. He lands domes only, and meanwhile all the thugs, they're like shooting it through the crowd and stuff, and so is Porter, by the way. And he kills all the thugs, and the one boss's main henchman is left, and he's got this assault rifle thing, automatic gun, and Porter is on the ground in a chair with no walls, nothing to cover him, and the guy is just like mowing down this ground, the floor, and is nowhere near shooting him. And then he shoots his legs, and it's like a scarecrow full of like straw or something.
Yeah.
You just see his legs just kind of like collapse.
Yeah.
So then this is one of my favorite lines that happens after this. He goes back to his hotel where he's housing the dancer and and her son and stuff, and he says, "Oh, man, whatever his name was is there," and he got away, and like, wow, that was bad. And she goes, "Oh, okay." And he says, "My hope now lies with stopping Robert."
Yeah.
What's he been doing this whole time? Like, what was his plan up until this moment other than stopping him? And I don't know what changed.
No
his
idea.
Only hope now is to stop Robert.
Yeah. I don't know. The next part is, this is where the news reporter and his cameraman get killed by Seagal, or what you think is Seagal, and then you don't find out why. And I mean, he's just reporting the news. He's in it for the wrong reason. Yeah.
No, for no reason at all. And he even tells the cameraman, "Hey, look, man, I know you're just doing your job."
Kills him first.
Knife from across the room into the neck.
What? Oh my gosh.
And then there's this whole subplot with the mayor that's running for governor or something, and that's the climax of the whole thing, because the governor, or the mayor says, "Look, we're not going to tolerate domestic terrorism," and I guess that was a trigger word for Seagal, because he's everything he's doing is for his country, and because he's took an oath and has honor, and whatever. And so then Porter's like, sees this teleconference, and he's like, get to the governor or the mayor's staff as the next target, and they can't find him and stuff, and he's
with his assistant or something in a hotel.
Yeah, but then like everybody's looking for him. The FBI's looking for him. The police station's looking for him, and the aides and everything, and everybody's looking for him. And then one guy casually says, after they've been looking for him for half the night, I wonder if or the Fed says, well, just look for whoever he's having sex with that week. And they're like, oh yeah,
That's
who was that? Who was
idea.
that this week? Well, who was on the schedule? Right. And so then they find out, and the chief, the police chief says something like, get down to that hotel now. Like he's been, I don't know, like everybody's just been dicking around.
Right.
Like they literally just found this out, and he's freaking out about this.
You would think as the mayor that somebody would have his schedule no matter who it was. I mean,
and so then, okay, there was this other thing. After this, something happens in a hotel, right? Or they try to arrest Porter, but Seagal or Porter or something was on a payphone again.
Yeah,
calls the
Porter,
detective.
So we think. Yeah,
on his CB
right after
radio.
He calls him. Yeah, I don't know how that works. He's on a payphone and he calls a CB radio.
He calls.
It was right after he killed the news reporters.
Yeah. And,
well, the other thing that was funny right in between these is right before the mayor, I think, gets killed. Is you go back to the police station and one of the detectives is looking at these files, and there's two people. So it's Robert Sykes and Porter. They're obviously two different people. Like Sykes got all these medals and retired, and then Porter got dishonorably discharged, and got let go because he was drinking and all these other stuff like that. But then we get finally like to the rooftop of this whole shebang, and one of the detectives is like, you know what? I think Sykes and Porter are the same person.
Yep.
But his partner just saw two files of two different people.
Yep.
And you're like, wait, what?
Yeah. They try to do this like Fight Club thing, right? Where it's just a mind fuck at the end, right? Where what? It's been one person this whole time.
No one's falling for that.
No one's falling for it. It's still just a fucking Sykes and Porter, like two clearly different people, right, the whole time. And okay, so they're on the roof because he just killed the governor, just super easy, right? And he's on the roof, and he's just Seagal is in the corner of the roof, just screwing on and unscrewing his silencer on his gun. That he's just kneeling down, right?
Yeah.
And
just hanging out. No big deal.
So then they have a little fight, and then the police show up in the helicopter. And at this point, I saw this. I was like, what the fuck just happened? Because Seagal just did this little scurry. He just ran away.
His stunt double,
he ran away, and then did a swan dive through a skylight and just fucking smacked like a fucking sack, like 3 stories down. You think he just killed himself or something?
And that was all just because the helicopter came, right? So he just does a barrel roll.
He jumps through a skylight, and you see him just fucking smack on the ground.
I mean, he just fucked himself up.
Then he's planting bombs and stuff. And
could he just land on his feet or something? Like, did they do that just because he is old? So they're like, we gotta make this realistic, guys, to finish off.
They're just like, we did that, or they just trolled him in post, right? They just, but at this point, they ran out of money completely because it's the 2 feds in the helicopter, and there's like
they look like Obi-Wan Kenobi. Star Wars.
The green screen was so fucking bad. They're like black and white. in this.
They look like holograms. They literally are holograms. They were holograms in helicopters.
They're just so great. And then they're shooting at him, and it's like ping, 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 ping.
This scene took so long.
Oh
like
my God.
once he jumps into, like, he crashes through, and then these two, Porter and Seagal, are like, they just keep going, walking around, and like, I was like, when is this just gonna end? Like, please just put us out of our misery.
There's a final fight between them. They both pull out these knives, these blades.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And they're doing this. And then it's a legitimate sword fight, but with 6-inch knives.
Knives. Yeah.
Because at one point they do this. Like,
like why?
It's so ridiculous, right? Like ting, 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 ping.
Oh, God Lord.
And then the helicopter's still around, right? And
the
so
helicopter
it's just looking
keeps
through
they just keeps flying around.
It just looks through their windows. And Seagal, he planted 2 bombs. As soon as the police flashlight saw him, he's goes, oh shit, I'm done.
That's it, man.
This is it. So then he just blows himself up. He blows himself and that entire floor with bombs.
Yep.
Okay.
That's it.
Then it's the next morning. And did you catch, at this point I was listening on headphones so I could hear a lot of the stuff. They're dragging out a couple bodies. The paramedics are, they have a body on a stretcher and stuff. And this off-camera extra says, this isn't my first barbecue. But it was so muffled and behind because you see a hand falling out and it's so like, crispy and
black.
stuff. And
yeah.
This isn't my first barbecue.
Probably one of the producers just getting picked up.
Yeah, exactly. And then
that's awesome. I didn't notice that.
And then I don't know. They're saying at this point that for some reason the dancer showed up with her kid at the end.
Like she really liked Porter. She really was concerned about Porter. Yeah. So, but it just did not make any sense.
Because he's saying that the detective said, "Look, Porter was, he had these demons and he was messed up and stuff, and he was doing all this stuff, and the guy that you thought you knew wasn't who you thought he was. And by the way, he's there. He's in the ambulance as a corpse, all burnt up and stuff. That's who Porter is.
Yeah.
But then someone dropped off the baseball
glove
to his kid. So someone's still alive.
Or someone's really messed up. They're messing with this stripper girl.
Right?
Oh,
that's the next target for psychological trauma. So was there 2 people or wasn't there 2 people? And at this point, it's just who cares, right?
Who cares? Yeah, this it's over. Like, help us,
please,
man. All right, well, let's put this one in the books. So this is the Ascension to 10 podcast. We rate on 11-point scale. Ascension being the worst thing you've ever heard, and 10 being the greatest thing we've ever seen. Yeah. This is an easy Ascension for me, Jad.
Yeah, true to form. Master Born to Raise Hell was an Ascension. I was trying to think of what was worse. Obviously, this is an Ascension. What was worse between the 2? I don't know.
I don't know. I think they're equal. I mean, it's just it started out with like 50 people being at the drug deal. Him rappelling down the silo was just ridiculous. Him not talking for the first 48 minutes.
And him just sitting down for 90% of his scenes, right?
Yeah.
He couldn't even get bothered to stand up.
And the fact that Liongate signed off on this, like Liongate is the opening credit. Like that's the production company. I was like, why would you be associated with this? But
man,
I don't know, man. That was terrible. I'm glad to have it behind us.
Yeah, so. And I'll agree to put Seagal on the shelf for a while.
On the shelf for a while, until you find a real gem.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
So
that's
what's
good.
next then?
All right. Well, I found one, and I think I sent you the trailer, and it's called "In the Name of the King," and it looks to be a horrible knockoff of Lord of the Rings, featuring Jason Statham from 2007. This is actually or 2008 maybe, but this is actually, there's 3 of them.
What? Ow.
I don't think Jason Statham's in the last 2, but I can't believe
my goodness,
2 more.
Wow.
So for next week, we're gonna watch In the Name of the King.
Okay.
So
sounds good.
Which should be interesting. I know nothing about it other than the trailer. So
yeah, and I will say I've already thought of the next one after this, and it is going to be sci-fi, and it's back to our roots, and it's something that I'm surprised we haven't done. So I'm really excited to do that one as well. Sweet. So for you, for the listeners, regularly scheduled programming is everything in front of us, starting with this Name of the King, because this could be another, because it was Krull, right, that Bryan said it was just a boring Lord of the Rings, right?
Yeah. This is a true
now we get
knockoff.
To watch a crap Lord of the Rings. So this will be good.
Yep. Well, as always,
maybe it will be good. We don't know.
You know what? We came in with low expectations. We typically do. We've had a few surprises, so we'll see.
I mean, Cosmo Ball was good. So
Cosmo Ball was really good. I thought Bright was probably another one that we thought was didn't really know anything about. That one was pretty good. So
I gotta wash this crap out of my hair. This is completely solid, dude.
That's a true old fashioned Seagal look right there. That's a 90s Seagal if you had the black jacket.
That was another thing I was gonna. I think half the budget. Was there any information about this movie?
Oh, there was the budget was $5 million. That's the only thing that they had on it. So
I feel like half of that went to his hair dye allotment, because his hair and goatee were beyond jet black. It was like staring into the void.
Oh man, it's so unnatural.
Yeah, it's just crazy pitch black.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. All right. Well, as always, you can find us at Ascension to 10 at ascension10.com. You can email us at boys@ascension10.com if you have any recommendations for films, and then Ascension to 10 on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. But until next week, he's Chad. I'm Spenny. Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Welcome to Ascension to 10.